What's up guys, how's it going, and welcome to the Minute channel. We have another video discussion here today, and this is gonna be something that I feel like I need to clarify before we even begin. By tropes, I don't really mean all tropes. I'm perfectly aware that every single piece of media falls into some kind of stereotype or trope that they're trying to portray. This can be multifaceted between in a culture or what's going on in the world right now or anything like that. So I'm perfectly aware that there are some cultural or stereotypes or tropes that just kind of have to be part of the experience. A lot of anime share the same tropes. A lot of different movies or TV shows share the same tropes. I just mean these particular things that I have observed between the Persona games, particularly the new Persona games, Persona 3, 4, and 5. But kind of before or now that I have done this clarification, let's go ahead and jump right into this here. So Persona 6 is coming out pretty soon. We want to hear about it within the next year or two, right? So one of the things that I've been doing lately is been doing this thing about talking about games and Persona 6 particularly, and what I want to see for Persona 6, whether it's some particular thing or anything like that. But this one is one thing that as I was replaying Persona 3 recently, and then Persona 5 Strikers, which is a game that a lot of people have been playing lately, I think there is a lot of particularly I'll say tropes or stereotypes that you see in particular characters, archetypes, if you will, as well, that are just kind of very well defined as far as like Persona 3, 4, and 5, and it almost feels like they're doing the same kind of story. For example, there's a character in Persona 3 called Aegis, which is kind of like this robot sentient mechanic being that kind of trying to she has kind of like a persona, so she is able to have feelings and emotions and that kind of stuff, and it's like technically like a non-human trying to understand humanity and therefore becoming some sort of human being in a sense, right? And that same thing can apply to a lot of characters. For example, Teddy in Persona 4, who is also a non-human that is kind of has feelings and a persona, and just going through this process of understanding human emotions and stuff like that. And same thing with Morgana, and so on. Recently in Persona 5 Strikers, another character that they introduced, she also is going through the same kind of thing. So if you really think about it, a lot of the Persona games do have that same type of character, but not only does it have the same kind of character, but it also has a very similar story pattern to that particular character, and that goes to a lot of the same kind of characters in the story as you meet, like the best friend or the hermit type of character like Futaba, for example, which is kind of almost like a character that is shown in all our different games and everything. Now again, I'm not gonna act like this is something that just happens in Persona games. This is very much prevalent in a lot of media in Japan or in anime and everything, and over the world too. Like you see watch movies that have that same kind of storytelling or that kind of stuff and everything. And although I really love the way that they do storytelling in Persona games and the characters and how well fleshed out they are and how you get to know about them, and although there's this stereotype at the beginning, you find out more about them later on, and you kind of feel that they are very different kind of characters when you expected. However, at the same time, there's a lot of characters that feel very samey. Again, going back to things like Persona 4, Dojima is your uncle, who is a cop, who not only is he like a pretty neat character because he kind of helps you along the way, but you also find out more about his storyline. His wife died in some kind of crime, and he's trying to solve that crime and everything. And that same kind of thing happens in Persona 5 Strikers with another cop character who also had a wife that died in a crime accident, and he is trying to solve the accident crime. So it's just kind of the same kind of stuff, and it's just interesting to see how not only do they take the character, but also they take the story or the background of the character and use it for a different character and a different story and everything. I personally just feel like that kind of stuff should stop. There's also things like the friend who, or like kind of the ally of the team who turns out to be a bad guy, or like betrays you along the way or something like that. This kind of stuff, like I'm gonna be honest here, guys, I don't think it's needed. Persona 1 and 2 did just fine without that, and Persona 3, 4, and 5 really, they had the same writing team and they had the same director, so I can see why it had a lot of the same qualities to it. However, Persona 6, the new Persona game, is gonna have a different team behind it, and I'm very excited to see what they're gonna do with it, and with a new director, when a new team, kind of just maybe more fresh ideas, or maybe more fresh way to do certain aspects within the storylines and the characters and everything. And again, I don't think old search types are bad or anything like that. The fact that we use, or they use in the Persona games, the tarot cards, that's already kind of limiting, because the tarot cards, if you guys didn't know, those have like a personality trait to them. Every tarot card is a personality thing, and that represents one particular person. That's why a lot of the times the characters can kind of feel samey. It's also because of the constraint of what the tarot card is to that particular character, and that's fine and all. I don't actually have a big issue with that, because I feel like it does fit within the rules of the world that they established, because of the tarot cards and you know what they are and who they are, you know, the persona that they have and everything. So that kind of ties into everything together, but at the same time you can clearly see that sometimes they're really kind of just being almost lazy, if you will, and kind of just repeating storylines, as I mentioned before. The ones that I mentioned, I feel like are very obvious that they're using a very similar storytelling from the other one. But anyway, that's just my take and feelings on that. But I want to hear you guys in the comments down below. What tropes in Persona do you like or do you not like, and do you want them to actually change that from what you've seen in the previous games? But anyway, thank you so much for watching this, guys. If you're new, please consider liking and subscribing. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think about all that I talked about today, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye. But before we end this video, I want to thank all the members: Miko, Another Fox, Demicro, H2DK, King Narukami 45, Ethan McNeil, and Rising Oblivion. Thank you so much, guys, for your support. I couldn't make these videos without your help.